Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to our first anniversary of Fan Film Reactions. I'm Cousin Cheeto of NerdTube, joined by the Council of Reactors. We'll start off with Medical Zam. How are you doing?
I'm fine, West Side motherfuckers. I am so fucking hyped for this shit.
Below is Leia, because I can never pronounce your code name. How you doing?
One day Vizaxin shall be uttered.
Zaxon, there we go. And Gary, the boss man. How you doing?
I'm looking forward to this.
Good. So, as being our 1 year anniversary, we decided to subject one of our friends from over at No Budget Productions, which would be Mr. Admiral Grissom, aka Frank Parker Jr. We are going to be reviewing one of his early or first fan films, right?
That is correct. It was under my other, it's Filkberg Productions on this one.
So, unfortunately for Frank, he is here for his flogging. So, with all that being said, I think we're going to jump right into it now. We do everybody who watches our fan film reactions know how we do it, but Frank, just so you know, it's a little bit different over at No Budget Productions, where they do what is critical, not cynical, every Friday, and they review Star Trek fan films. We do more variety of fan films, but we actually make comments throughout the whole thing. So sorry, Frank.
That's fine.
We're going to
We
be
do Mystery Science Theater 3000 sort of thing.
Yeah, Mystery Science Theater 3000 is what we got here. So we're going to bring this up here. And is everyone ready?
I'm looking for
I'm
my
ready.
knife.
I'm ready.
You shared the audio, yeah?
I believe so.
Let's rock and roll then. I like the clock.
It's an analog clock.
I know, that's why I'm laughing.
Hey, you know what? He likes his analog clocks. Just let him be.
Just want to say straight off the bat, this already feels like an authentic episode of the TOS era.
Grissom here.
Well, hello, Commodore. It took me a while to track you down.
Uh-oh.
Have you been waiting long?
I've got a 15-year-old child in the car.
It's over. You've been cleared of all responsibility. The
She
conditions
is
you
actually a
endured were
professional actress.
unprecedented and frankly inexplicable. You are hereby reinstated to your command, effective immediately.
Yay!
You leave space dock in 2 weeks. That should give you enough time to gather up your crew if possible and replace crew if needed.
Oh.
Got to get a crew together, get a team together.
I never doubted you, Sam. I don't think any of us did. It's just when a ship comes back in that sort of condition, especially in peacetime.
I know, man.
I understand. There must be a thorough investigation.
Orion
Lot for
Mardi
future
Gras.
reference,
Rough.
and no captain may be immune to the process.
I knew you'd see it that way. Now, I have one more bit of information for you. There have been some recent events with Romulan Empire. Starfleet Command is engaging in a covert operation.
Oh.
If it's successful, years of conflict can be avoided.
War between Starfleet and the Romulan Empire?
No, internal conflict. They're messy. They spread out and make life miserable for their neighbors as well. Just be aware that you may be
those
contacted
Romulans.
to lead a very
Blasted Romulans.
sensitive, very delicate mission.
I'll do my best, Admiral, but when?
That'll have to do for now. I've said enough already. Now, get back to your ship and your life.
Thank you, Admiral, and I do appreciate your faith in me.
Frank, if you're not wearing the black covert outfits from TNG, I riot.
Thumbs up from me so far, Frankie boy. I'm liking it.
It's a pretty decent.
I like the Dreadnought class. It's like the Excelsior of the TOS era.
But the Harrison is even better.
I like the Blue Star. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken Thompson did this intro for us.
Nice.
Did well.
Free
I mean,
nacelles for extra
Like
power.
weapons grade,
What's
weapons
better?
grade
What's better
nostalgia
than
right now?
what's better than one satellite dish on the front is 3 satellite dishes.
Yeah, you really pimped my starship with that one, didn't you?
I mean, that's how the Dreadnought was built. Plus, you got the one on the rear end. That's just in case if you drop the soap in the shipyard.
Look at it. You've taken, I'm funny I mentioned West Side, that you're taking your ship to West Coast Productions where they pimped up those cars. That is so pimp. That's the most pimped up starship I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I mean, they were initially made for, I think, battleships, weren't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
Anchors Away and the Haunted, lovely. That's a nice looking star base you got there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Jupiter station, I believe.
Oh, of course, yeah. How did I not recognize?
Frank's like, yeah, that's my front room.
I wish.
Oh, it's illegal, that Romulan ale.
Listen, Zam, you're just such a fuddy-duddy for the rules.
Dr. Tamara,
Commander Denson, the Commodore said you would be joining us.
I'd like for you to meet our science officer, Lieutenant Commander Sandra Piper.
Nice to meet you.
I've been looking forward to meeting you, Commander. Your work with the Omega-19 crystals has been well known in the Vulcan medical community.
It was nothing really. Once I decoded the biometric impulses emanated by the crystals, it was just a matter of matching the various genetic codes to known indigenous species until we discovered their true origin.
She sounds very
You,
competent,
on the other
like
hand,
even though it's
Commander, are very well
technobabble.
known to all the Academy graduates.
Mhm.
You dominate the entire chapter on petripeds in all the xenobiology textbooks.
Well, looks like this could be the beginnings of a beautiful friendship.
Let me
Look,
drink
that-
up this Romulan ale.
Knock it back, my son.
Why he asked us here?
It's probably just WDKD or something.
Burns
The
going
I don't know
down.
which one's worse.
Cromwell Nebula incident was recently closed. Commodore Grissom was found to be without fault. The repairs to the
Commodore
Dominion
Grissom
were
was to be found
complete.
without honor.
Logically, he has summoned us here to announce that we will launch them.
And then he put the
Well,
hair on and
you're
everything was
right.
forgiven.
Of course I'm right. I would not have said otherwise.
You know how itchy
Just waiting
this
for
is?
someone to have their. I'm just waiting for someone's teeth to get dyed blue by that stuff and look like they swilled Tidy Bowl the whole time.
I hope
Never
it ain't-
thought of that.
Dr. Tamara and Commander
I hope it's drinkable, it's not
I'm
Lysol.
And this is Lieutenant Commander.
Ah,
WKD.
Windex.
Thanks for just in town.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Commander. Commodore Grissom has spoken very highly of you.
Thank you, Mr. Taft. And Commander Brusso, I have heard much about you.
Oh, really? All of the good, I hope.
Your accomplishments are quite impressive.
Thank you, Doctor.
And Ensign, you have earned quite a reputation of being a genius in astral navigation and piloting.
It's in the Taft genes. There have been navigators in my family for as far back as we can find records, not only in space, but on Earth's oceans as well.
It's been in the Armstrong line for generations.
So was he a famous cyclist?
Can I get you anything?
I'd like a double espresso, please.
And
Oh.
I have a Dominion line devil.
Ah, there we go.
Double espresso, you ain't
A
fucking
man
around,
of
are you,
refined
Frank?
taste, I
Glad to
see.
see everybody can make it. Dr. Tamara, it's good to be working with you again.
Thank you, Commodore. And I find it agreeable also.
I see you're all getting
And I
acquainted.
make all my raps.
Mr. Brasso, as you may have guessed, is our new XO.
Thank you, sir. I've been keeping up on returning personnel as well as replacements, and I'm happy to report we're about 95% manned.
Excellent. I have checked that, and it's good to see almost everybody's returning. And for those who are replacements, I'm very pleased.
Frank, you need
That's
to fix
good
your
news,
posture,
sir.
buddy.
I thought it would
I
have been
know.
difficult to
I know. That is one thing that I am very aware of.
Has to do with everybody.
Does the
scattered
set
that
end
way
just
across
after that woman? Because I feel like the camera should be focused on you guys a little bit.
backward planet, studying some type
Listen,
of...
Yeah, I was going to say the one thing. One criticism I've got so far that the camera keeps recording too much. I'd rather focus on the shot personally.
I am very pleased with the replacements like Dr. Tamaro and Mr. Brasa.
So, Commander, I can't imagine.
I'm seriously distracted by that bartender. I'm sorry.
While he just was standing there, and we finally said, "No, you got to move around."
Yeah.
Commander Broso did affix to Commodore Wesley.
Dr. Tamaro, it's a metaphor. You'll pick these things up over time. Speaking of picking things up, I thought I'd have to be picking up a new chief engineer for a while.
Yes, you must be referring to my brush with retirement.
That I was. You're what, 6 months older than I am? It's no time to retire.
I know, but I'm back now.
If you don't mind me asking, what made you change your mind?
Well, I just realized that there's nothing I could do in retirement that I would enjoy more than being on the Dominion. So I asked them nicely, and they reactivated me.
I do not understand why anyone would want to retire.
I'm not leaving the fleet until I'm forced to.
Can I retire
I'd
today?
like to propose a toast to the best crew of Starfleet. We all be forced to leave. Wait, that didn't come out.
May we all be forced to leave.
To the Dominion.
Look at him with it.
You're drinking espresso out of a fucking...
Yeah, he's drinking
love it.
espresso like that.
You're fine, Chief.
I think it's a little more than a double there.
Like, when you get off this, you'll start like twitching.
This is our new transporter chief and second
I
engineer,
can
John
see
Brooks.
through time.
Chief Brooks, my condolences, of course. If you ever need to talk, my door is open to you.
Oh, I bet it is.
But I've been counseled and analyzed for the last 2 years.
I understand how you feel you could find no solace from your father's successor. Alfred does stand.
I understand. It's nothing like that, Doctor. Of course. I'll drop by.
I'm wearing a red shirt. No one can understand pain.
No thanks. I'm good.
I bet you are.
So, this guy's getting it all. Getting attention from all the ladies.
I wanted another one of these.
I would not
You-
advise that, Commander. You, like me, are drinking the Syrian Banshee. More than one would put you in the sick bay.
But I like the little floaties.
That's a throwback to a Farragut incident.
He's an alcoholic. Don't you need to get rid of him?
Questioning your motives never came into
Chug-a-lug.
play. Simi harbors some reservations, but it doesn't matter. Your record speaks for itself, and I'm happy to have you join my crew.
I don't hate you, sir. But I can't say I don't hold you responsible.
He was completely absolved.
Uh-oh. Conflict.
That's why I asked for the transfer, sir. I don't know what to think or how to feel. My hope is that by getting to know the crew my father served with, it might help me put it all behind me.
Fair enough, Chief. I hope you find your answers.
That's a big espresso.
I sense
You do it.
shenanigans, and that espresso's more than a double.
I want to tell you
So,
personally.
he's doing a
to get you
48-hour
back.
shift.
The Dominion is scheduled to get underway in 5 days.
I mean, I know that everything's bigger in America, but holy crap.
I've heard they upgrade the photon torpedo.
Bigger in space.
They're from Texas.
Shall I report to my post early and transport this board, sir?
Not a chance. It's a tradition of mine to inspect the outside of my ship before departure. Take it as a throwback from the days of winged flight, when pilots walked around the aircraft. Besides, you'll have plenty of time to beam my atoms around later.
Commander, did they have a chance to install that dilithium spectrometer I've been asking for?
Tuesday.
And you'll love the improvements.
It'd be good to see you again, sir.
She's
You
got
love
ample
the Dominion,
nacelles.
Doctor. Oh, sorry, maybe love isn't the right word.
No apology is necessary. I'm sure I will find the Dominion an acceptable ship, and serving aboard her an agreeable experience.
Commander Tamaro will make a fine ship's doctor, and we're also experimenting. She's also going to be ship's counselor.
She's a You're a psychologist?
I am certified in 14 fields of medical, psychological, and emotional training. Trust me, I am a doctor.
She's always wanted to say that. I'm the doctor.
Sam, I've known you for a long time, and I know when something's eating at you. Is it the hearing?
Yes, I've noticed that too.
No, I'm fine with the hearing. I'm just a little puzzled. Frankly concerned.
If you feel you need to talk,
Frank. Frankly.
No, I'm all right. Just everybody, please stay sharp for me.
What's going on, sir?
Honestly, I don't know the detail, but something has been set in motion. Something big.
So, Frank, my first critique is that scene went on a bit too long.
Yeah. I'll explain that a little later.
That's okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, eventually I was getting.
Yeah, you could have been cut down a little bit.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Well, this is nice.
Yeah, I like this.
Oh, the Farragut.
Yeah, Farragut, and we also
said
had the Saladin, which is Ken Thompson's ship.
Beautiful, isn't she?
Oh no, you're doing the old Scotty and Shat and
You trace the damage now.
and Kirk from Motion Picture.
We were in. There was no way you could know there was a ship in it, Evan.
It doesn't matter. I should have known. I should have sensed it. We lost a lot of good people that day.
I know. Losing Chamberlain made it all worse. You know, mischief the two of you perpetrated at the academy. It's legendary. You know what I think you really need is someone who
I
can
wish
stand
you
by.
would stop trying to play ship's counselor. That's what we have Merrill for.
You get him, Frank.
Yeah, put him in his place.
It just seems that the only thing you've ever loved was your job. It's just not healthy.
Is the shuttle bay in the front?
Being grounded. It's all overrated. I put my heart, my
Oh,
soul
nice.
into my ship.
I didn't realize that before.
How, Sam?
That actually makes a lot of sense since there's a big old
I
dish
don't
on the
know.
butt.
Yeah.
That's debatable.
Yeah, no, Dreadnought, they're in the front.
Captain's log, stardate 5121.2. It has been 19 months since the Dominion limped into space dock for repairs. The Cromwell Nebula incident was ruled to be no fault of my own, and I have been pronounced physically, mentally, and emotionally fit to return to duty. However, I've been unable to forgive myself for the loss of 17 crew members, some who were very close friends. The ship systems are undergoing last-minute calibrations.
I named her the Patton.
The what?
The Patton.
The pattern.
Oh.
What trouble, Commander? What's the problem?
Aye, sir. It's the aft torpedo launcher.
A nice
When
looking
fired
set.
from the bridge, there's a delay. Could be faulty wiring. Could be a software glitch. Either way, I suggest we postpone the launch.
What kind of a delay are we talking?
This is Kingsland, Georgia.
No, I meant in the firing mechanism.
Just under a second.
Just under a second. We'll launch on time, Commander. Just run a thorough diagnostic on that system and put a thorough report on my desk. once you're
Uh-oh.
ready.
Do you know what that means?
Aye, sir. You'll have it.
Foreshadowing.
Come on board, gentlemen.
Well, excuse me, Commodore.
Oh, you've had a few days to get acquainted with the ship. What do you think of her as our new XO?
She's the finest ship in her class, sir. I'm honored to be here. You just can't imagine.
You'd be surprised what I can imagine. Besides, you've earned it. Lexington's loss is the Dominion's gain.
Amazing sets.
Yeah, the sets look really good.
Yeah, we built those.
Mm.
Don't let Vic fool you
Don't
about
say
that.
anything. Just
on
make me
Star
look
Trek
good and
Continues.
find yourself drifting home on a slow freighter.
They got a lot of DNA in these sets.
A lot of what?
Slow
DNA.
Then you have to grab hold onto those handlebar things.
He did.
Yeah.
He grabbed onto it.
I'm home. How's it going, Chief?
Just finishing up, sir. I think you'll find it meets your specifications.
Excellent. May I?
I wouldn't dare try to stop you, sir.
You're the motherfucking man.
Get in that chair.
Hey, look, you got fucking maintenance there as well.
Well, yeah, they're in space dock.
Oh yeah, of course. So what's the point of having engineers? Anyway, I guess you're in space dock, yeah.
Captain's log supplemental.
There's our bartender. See how tall he is?
Yeah.
I speculated how this moment would feel. And now that it's here, it feels like I've returned home. For over 5 years as her captain, the Dominion was my home, her crew were my comrades, my family, and my friends. When all that was stripped away, I was alone. I lived day to day with only the hope of returning to my command to sustain me.
Dude, I felt like something was going to
That's
happen.
an awful. Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of emphasis on that fellow on the ground.
I must find a way to
He
get
seems
past
shady.
my lingering feelings of
He's
guilt.
planted a bomb.
I must get past my doubts and be the leader this crew deserves.
He's a Romulan
For their
spy.
sake and for my own.
He calls the Tal Shiar and he's like, I have important information. The captain sat in his chair.
I am humbled by the loyalty of this crew.
Let's see how well they do without their Netflix.
They doubt me, they show no signs of it.
I'm all finished here, Commodore. Do you need anything else before I leave?
Just the keys, thank you.
Sir?
The keys?
Never mind, Chief. I have everything I need right here.
Well, we got a little Tom Paris on him there.
Well, the thing has to have a tailpipe.
It does. 3 of them.
Ample nacelles. Oh, I did the Picard pull.
When you got
Spock-
a belly, when you have a
Spock did it
belly like
first.
mine.
Just so you know, Spock did it first.
Spock did it first?
Yeah, in Star Trek 2.
Oh.
After he got burnt to a fucking cinder.
You talking about during the Kobayashi Maru?
No, near the end of the film, after he saved the ship and he sacrificed his life, and just before he said goodbye to Jim, he stood up and pulled his shirt down.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm an expert.
I guess I'll just have to go back and look at it.
Oh, he's got the old ukulele out.
He's gonna filk for us. This is the product placement for filking.
Captain's log, stardate 4812.9.
Man, I was expected to listen to some Stairway to Heaven.
Welcomed our landing party with a grand parade as 1,000 beautiful women did an elaborate dance. We were instructed to disrobe.
Damn, I want to hear more.
We were instructed to disrobe.
1,000 beautiful women. Jesus.
That's like a friggin'
Ryan Mardi
fan
Gras, no
fiction.
joke.
Bryce, why can't you just enter a room like a normal person?
What would be the fun in that?
And I suppose this is your doing?
Just something to commemorate a special occasion. Go ahead, open it.
And the special occasion would be
Commodore, you cut me to the quick. Why, it was 3 years ago today I signed on as your XO.
The origin.
It's a rill. It's beautiful. You didn't have to do this.
Be that as it may, sir, you've become like the brother I never had over the past few years. My father gave that to me when I graduated from the academy. I never learned how to play it. Then I remembered your reel was stolen when you were on Rigel 6. I told you
Darn
not
right,
to go to that
Jellians.
club. I said it was in a rough part of town, but would you listen to me? And no, you lost your precious reel. Well, it just seemed like the right thing to do.
I'm sorry, Doc. Didn't get you anything.
You've given me more than you'll ever know, sir.
You got replicators.
Hey, nothing like a good handmade instrument.
Oh yeah. No, but you said you can't get him anything. I still want to hear more about the disrobing.
No
Dream
sleep for you.
We're in space.
Hell of an alarm clock.
5 minutes, 30 seconds, sir. That's not bad for a night drill, but we need to shave a few seconds off.
Nice.
Excuse me?
You heard me, sir.
You better stand down, mister.
Uh-oh.
No, you stand down, sir. We all
Oh,
here
no.
know what you did. They were our friends, and you got them all killed.
Oh, he's dreaming. Got it.
Oh, it's a mutiny.
Oh, I don't think so, Commodore. I mean, after all, yeah, of course, you are going to get us all killed. In fact, why don't I do this whole thing and end your little reign of incompetence now
Oh,
before more lives are lost?
Tomorrow, do something.
That would be illogical, Commodore.
You killed my father. Who's next? Me? Here I am, Commodore. Go ahead.
okay, Macaulay Culkin with a beard. Settle down.
He looks like the captain who was the captain of the Enterprise B.
Commodore, and some rest. Maybe then you won't get anyone else killed.
Commodore, incoming message from Starfleet. You can relieve of your duties effective immediately.
So who's the girl?
Setting coordinates for certain death, sir.
She's
Warp
communications.
1, Warp 3, Warp 5.
Did anybody notice that the medical officer has a fucking, like, dagger?
Yeah.
And that guy's attempting an English accent. Oh, look at the veins out of his neck. And he's just walking along like nothing's going on. Is it still a dream sequence? I'm not so sure now.
Is that you, Don? How can it be you?
Hello, Sam.
It is you, Don. Don, I am so sorry.
I don't have a lot of time. I only came to tell you there was nothing you could do. None of us blame you.
I wish I could make it all up to all of you.
Just carry on, Commodore, and make us proud.
That's my Shatner moment.
My best.
Your Shatner moment.
Why all this?
Why all this?
You know me. What would be the fun in that? Goodbye, Sam. Tell my wife I love her.
What, can't you tell her yourself?
On Sam?
I think he's dead.
Yes. Godspeed to
Oh.
you too.
Maybe he is dreaming then. He gets into the thing and then he disappears instead of going down.
I
Yeah,
think
he
he
was
was the Law and
dreaming.
Order theme.
Oh, he's in a temporal loop, temporal vortex time loop.
No, it was
whatever.
a dream. Come on.
I know, but I'm making fun now. Look at he's smiling.
He has closure.
3 minutes, 42 seconds.
Cancel red alert. That's not bad for a night drill, but I have something to say to all of you.
Uh-oh.
Ever since Cromwell Nebula, asked myself if there was anything I could have done differently to minimize the danger and loss of life. I reminded myself that exploration is dangerous. When our ancestors went out to explore the other side of the mountain, some of them didn't come back. But that didn't stop them. Now, we had billions of miles. Some of us don't. We venture and
I saw that
explore
that Connie class on there.
because it's in our makeup.
No, actually, that is ours. It is a Dreadnaught. I had it made.
It is?
Fallen friends knew these
Look at it.
risks.
No, not on the
Oh,
wall.
on
There
the
was-
other. Oh, on the other one. Yeah, I didn't have time to get that one done.
I'm just being picky.
So, let's go take a look, shall we?
Is that your catchphrase? Let's go take a look.
I know that you have our backs, Commander.
I think I speak for us all when I say we're a little anxious.
Very well. Commander Benson, is the Dominion spaceworthy?
Aye, sir. Show fire.
Chief Brooks,
Just on my way to my post, sir, in engineering.
remain on the bridge. I'll be on it.
Gonna keep an eye on you, son.
Dr. Chimero, is medical a go?
Well, sir, regulation. Sir, medical is a go.
Commander Piper, is there any place in particular you'd like to explore?
Actually, yes, Commodore. I've been always wanting to investigate a newly discovered anomaly in the
Kindly transmit the coordinates to Ensign Taft.
I'd be more than happy to, sir.
Lieutenant Olson, inform Starfleet that we have a mountain.
Aye, sir.
Coordinates received.
Aye, sir.
Sir, the Yardmaster has cleared us for launch.
Ensign Taft, take her out. Maneuvering thrusters only.
Aye, sir. Maneuvering thrusters on.
That's fast for maneuvering thrusters.
They're not fucking around. It's pimped, isn't it?
They're like,
We wanna
punch
hit
it.
the darts.
They're like, look, listen, we got shit to do and places to explore.
Yeah.
Dominion is
Meow. 1/4 impulse. On my mark. Warp factor 3.
When was your mark?
There, you didn't hear me say it.
That's what I was waiting for. I'm waiting for your line.
Nice.
So that was both parts, right, Frank?
Huh? Yeah,
That was-
both parts.
Okay. I just didn't want. I want to make sure we didn't.
Make sure there's nothing else to the credits.
Hold on, I gotta turn this down. I gotta find it. All right. Don't think there's no after credits or anything, or is there?
No, yes, yes, there is an after credit for this.
Aw, good shot.
Mm-hmm.
Never rolling. Action. Close that door. Close the doors.
Don't say anything.
Frank, do it again. Don't look at your mark.
Oh, it's bloopers.
Okay, we're still rolling.
Go towards the plant.
Keep it together. Action.
Keep it together, Frank. Don't look at your mark, Frank.
Don't say
Pull
anything.
yourself together, men.
Look good for choosing you, or you'll find yourself drifting home on a slow freighter.
Doors.
There's that confused look I like.
Believe me, that's the last time I have Commander Hackett recommend drink.
I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, Toto.
You gotta stop. You left that Romulan L, mate. Jesus.
Like the clown car of lifts.
What the hell?
I'm taking this.
Hey, the screen test. Oh, hell, if they can't beat them, join them.
Cut.
Okay.
Okay, that
All
was
right.
cute.
So,
Very nice.
all right. Well, that was. Oh, it's hold on. That was Frank's fan film. Sorry, I had to like exit out because it was still blaring in my ear.
Oh yeah, no problem.
So I guess we'll just start with initial thoughts around the room. Zam, I'll start with you.
Frank, was that your first fan film?
Yes, it was.
It looked great. Good costumes, good set, and everything. I didn't have no idea what was going on. To be honest with you.
That's because we talked through the whole thing.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't have an inkling of what was going on. Like the dream sequence, I didn't understand. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to be as nice as I can about it.
No. Go ahead.
No. Without coming across as mean for the sake of it, I had no idea what the fuck was going on, and that was the only thing I didn't get. I really was trying to make sense of what I was seeing. I know we did talk about stuff here and there, but it really was very difficult to understand, and I think sometimes it can be done with the acting a little bit. Not yours. I thought you acted really well compared to the rest of the guys there, but sometimes to understand the story, it needs to be emotionally portrayed, whether it be however the emotion has to be, however the person has to feel, and I wasn't getting that from certain characters, and so it was hard to understand what was going on. But for your first attempt, I can't knock it either. It looked great. It was a decent homage to the original series in that sense, and for that reason alone, I can't knock it too much.
All right, Gary.
I thought the production design and everything like that was really well done. I thought I thought it could have fit it. A lot of it could have fit in with the original series, just with the. But I do agree with Sam that I do think that some of the sequences, especially the dream sequences and a bit of the band, went on a little bit too long, and I would have cut them just for maybe more. There's some comments that could have been made, to your character during the whole drama, so we get that there's a tension there, because then when he relieves the tension, then we know that there's something for him to relieve. It's all like you have to show us, and you have to tell us rather than show us, and I'd rather that it was shown that there's that because I think you mentioned in a dream that one of your character's fathers died. I mean, maybe you could say he brings up stuff that his dad used to do, and you could say your character. But apart from that, considering that this was your first go, I think very well done. The special effects were great. The set designs was great. As I said, that's my only complaint with those things. But I think that as you probably go on, you'll probably tighten up those aspects. That's just my personal opinion.
All right, Leah.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching an old episode of Star Trek. It had that feel about it. You guys did an amazing job with set design, and you had the sound effects and everything. It was just, I'm like, weapons greatness. To me, I knew the dream sequence was a dream sequence. It's like it got a little bit hammy at the end there, but it was still like it's a dream sequence. I mean, come on, that you could actually completely excuse that. Other than that, yeah, like the scene where everybody was sitting around the table and like just talking about getting on the ship, that ran a little long, but other than that, it just like it was great. I just loved the whole thing.
I mean, you already kind of heard one of my critiques was about the table scene. That scene for me went on a little too long, and I almost started glazing over my eyes. I thought the acting was pretty good. I thought Frank, you did really well compared to
You're the best of the lot.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought that everybody was pretty well acted. I understand why the doctor was the way she was, because she's Vulcan. I mean, and that's believe it or not, I feel like that's a harder role to play than a normal person.
She's like that at home. Oh, can I say that out loud? No, dear, you can't watch this.
You made one comment. You said
Someone's
something
sleeping
about
on the couch.
Yeah, right.
Out with the dogs as usual.
You made one comment about there being a lot of DNA on that set, so I kind of wanted to go back to that comment. I mean, were there mass orgies in this set, or what?
It was the 60s.
No, what I meant by a lot of DNA is I was part of not the original Farragut, but I was part of the building crew for St. Mary's Farragut Studio 1, and then Farragut Studio 2 in Kingsland, Georgia. And there's a lot of my work down there. I was going down there every couple of weeks, 5.5 hour drive both ways to Kingsland, Georgia, to basically help construct the sets. And to be perfectly honest with you, there is the person who got the sets after us purports that he did and built those sets himself. And he very rarely lifted a hammer. I think he painted one thing once, and he went on to have and I think you guys know which one I'm referring to, because I've discussed this before on No Budget Productions, and I don't really want to get into it, but it was one of the bigger ones that was down there after Farragut closed, and then they took over before it became the neutral zone. So that's what I mean by there's a lot of DNA in there. There's a lot of love, and there's a lot, and I'll probably not shoot down there again. The last time I shot down there was Passengers with Baggage. I had dropped out of the production for a while, and Gary and Randy picked it up after Haunted, and they continued running it. And when I decided to come back in, we did Passengers with Baggage. And that is, like my swan song going to the Harrison now for Crossroads. And my sets are going to be completely different. They're not going to be as polished, I don't think, because I am building this in the garage, but I'm doing the best I can. It's going to be more along the lines of a Potemkin type ship for Randy Lander's Potemkin pictures. So, you just go, and I'm like Vance in a lot of ways. I prefer the story than I do a lot of the effects. And but I'm truer in the respect, and I've discussed it. I'm truer in costuming and things like that, and making things, sound more sense than he is. He's got a little bit more liberty on my sets. I like it to be a little bit more Trekish. So it's just a balance. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, that would just go back to my other second critique, which I'm going to say, not enough pew-pews.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, like, just generally, I think what she was trying to get at as well is like Star Trek usually has a lot of tension. Even if it's not like action packed, the tension is there to make up for it. I'm not sure if I felt that, and there were a couple of scenes as well. I would also want to agree with them that could have maybe trimmed down a minute or two here or there, just to keep it a bit more streamlined and So but I'll be honest with you, I was drifting a little bit, here and there. I was really upset with myself. I was just drifting a little bit, and I think because we're so focused on one thing, and I think as filmmakers sometimes we're so desperate to get all what we believe to be necessary information out there that we don't realize that we need to trim the fat.
Well, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I know, and but I understand what you were going for, Frank. Like, I understand that you were building your crew, you were building your characters, and so don't take it as like,
no,
stupid character development. No, I appreciate all of this, and I know that the guidelines have kind of limited some people and what they can do, because if you had a couple extra 15 minutes, you could have had maybe some holodeck. Well, no, it's the original series, so they didn't have holodecks, but they could have added some kind of, but the beauty shots were great. Like the beauty shots of the ship in the intro, at the end of it coming out of space dock, even though it floored out of there like Vin Diesel in a fast movie. I'm surprised I didn't see fire tracks going behind the nacelles.
It's got three in the nacelles on it, so impulse drive is pretty much warp 1.
There you go.
I don't know if that's exactly what the nacelles do, but okay.
Oh, fair enough.
Anchors Away almost didn't get done. And what happened on Anchors Away is we had a Farragut Fest on a Saturday. And we decided, okay, well, let's see if we can shoot Sunday and do Anchors Away. And we didn't think that it was going to be that bad. Yeah. We didn't think it was going to be that bad. 12 hours later, after, it was just, and it was the first time out for us. We didn't have our tapes and everything coordinated. And actually what happened was we sent it out, and I didn't think we'd ever see anything. So when we did Haunted, we did everything differently. However, a friend of mine, Randy Landers, at that time had picked it up, and he put a lot of that editing together and stuff. And if it had been for Randy in the long run, I don't think Anchors Away would have been at least produced to even what it is. And I can understand that because he had a lot of patchwork to do on it. So, but you're right. I mean, some of that could have been trimmed without a doubt. I mean, it was, when I go back and look at it, I'm even sitting there going, well, even the clock sequence at the very beginning where I'm sitting there watching, the clock ran too long for me. I think you should have been a little bit quicker.
I didn't mind. Funny enough, I didn't mind that too much at all. It got his point across that you're a guy waiting on something. Just like I think the scene in the bar that went way too long, and also like the camera footage as well. Like I was so distracted by the bartender. I should be focusing on you guys, but you got like you guys there in the corner, and you got some shit going on the right hand side of the screen, which doesn't need to be focused on. And so I would have got the director or the cameraman just to keep it on you guys, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But those are the sort of things those are the sort of like teething issues you have on your first fan film. So it's totally understandable.
Yeah, and I mean, for a first time fan film, I mean, this is really good. Like, I mean, as I said, don't take anything like. I mean, I'm nitpicking at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's fine because you'd learn. It's like when I write a song, and somebody hears it a couple of times and says, "Hey, this word would sound better." I usually throw it in there. If you are giving constructive criticism and you're trying to tell me what you think would have been better, then I'm going to look at it and say, yeah, that's a possibility.
Actually, one more thing that I would like to add. I think there was quite a lot of characters for a short period of time. Like it was really hard to like understand what the fuck was going on with that many people in the space of 15, 20 minutes. So yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we can, if anyone has any questions for Frank about production, costuming, any of that stuff, I mean, go for it. I mean, my first question is, how did like that whole cast, like I'm guessing at the end that was like the whole cast, like behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. Like how did you gather? Is that all friends, family, or is that people you hired, or is that?
all of them in there. Donna and I, of course, she played. Randy Wren and I, who plays the chief engineer and is still a chief engineer in Haunted. He and I went to community college together when we all were out of a job back in 2009. And I kind of dragged him along. Gary Davis, who played my executive officer, he and I have been in a couple Star Trek fan film, not fan films. We were in Starfleet International. He ran something that was called Maquis International Fan Clubs. So we've known each other. He's in Ohio. Our communications officer, that was the daughter of Royal Weaver, who is one of the production assistants down there now, and another one of the carpenters and builders of the set.
That was the young one, right?
Yeah, that was the youngest one, right? Now, the Piper, our science officer, and the girl, who was the waitress and the bartender, that was her. That was Kim's boyfriend that played the bartender, and that was her daughter who played the waitress in that scene. And Gary's wife was over on the right in there, sitting there talking to somebody in the lounge scene. Let's see, and actually, Kim, I'm not sure how we got Kim, but she had. I think we were looking for somebody, and she sent us a headshot. And I said, okay, we'll try her out. And then the security officer was somebody who I met at Con Carolinas, which is one of the cons, and he and his friends were walking around in Star Trek uniform, and we said, I want you. And then the last person was the chief, the transporter chief, and he was actually working sets with us. His wife had done some set dressing for Farragut, and we asked him if he wanted to play a role. So it's pretty much people that we kind of knew. It was only Kim was really the one we didn't know from the group.
Okay, was that set? Because I do know that there's a couple of built sets that people put into their garage or put into So was that something that you owned, or was it something you rented, or was that something you just house that you happen to know?
Well, it was actually Farragut Studios too. And one of the things was I had done a lot of work with, I have very good friends with Michael Bednar and Michael Day, who are producers of that program. Plus I worked with Greg, construction crew. So one day I was looking at Mike Bednar, and I said, I wouldn't mind doing my own Star Trek. And he says, well, you got the sets. I said, okay. And then that other person took over, and that blew that for a while until Neutral Zone took it back over. So, but yeah, that's down. We had the first set that we did was in St. Mary's, Georgia. And that was a small warehouse. And then we got the larger warehouse in Kingsland, which is just up the road, and moved all the sets and rebuilt everything. And that was a much larger warehouse. And the only thing that we didn't have at the time was the engineering room. Everything else we had built in an auxiliary control. Plus, Neutral Zone has now completed the bridge. It's a 360 now. It has the actual screens up front that we didn't have when we first built it. So yeah, that was a large warehouse that they were renting. Farragut Productions was renting down there, and actually they're based in DC, so they would come down there to shoot. So this is down in the warmer climate. So usually shot in January and February because in the summer you don't want to have any machinery and stuff going, and that place was like an oven. And that's when we did the building, in the oven.
All right, Leah, do you have any other questions?
No, you actually asked the question that the one question I could think to ask was, it's just like, where and how did you, gather all the people that were needed to make this? But that was it. It was already answered.
Okay. Zam, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Well, Frank, tell us anything you would like to add to plug or put out there or anything. I know that you spin many plates, my friend.
Yes, I do.
So go ahead.
I have for those people out there who are into science fiction folk music, or as we fondly call it, filk music, I do a podcast on Wednesday nights Eastern Standard Time called Filk Quest. So I do that every Wednesday night. I occasionally jump in, and I missed it last week, and to your guys, on Lower Decks. I mean, I really want to get to be a regular on that one because I do enjoy Lower Decks. Then we do a Critical Not Cynical on No Budget Productions, Filk Ferret Productions, where we do all our stuff, Vance and I, at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. And sometimes we get the Medical Zam and Cousin Cheeto over there to help pick our brains and do. Last night we had we did what was it, Lexington Adventures. So we had pretty good fun there. Soon, I understand, I'm going to Jonathan Lane. Is interviewing me sometime next week for one of his podcasts. So
Well, probably when this goes live, it'll probably be last week.
yeah, last week from that. Yeah, whatever. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, pretty much. I also have another thing in store. I just have to get it together. We're thinking of doing another series of creators on Facebook, but we're going to see how that goes. And I'm still, hashing that out. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, Crossroads is my new fan film. We're still the first one, Crossroads episode 1, is out on No Budget Productions. If you go there, you'll find a list. It's called the Sam Grissom Adventures, that we just put everything that I've been in recently since I've come back to fan films. I have been in Constar. Vance has written 3 Constar episodes with me to reintroduce my Commodore Grissom character. We have Passengers with Baggage that jumps off into Crossroads. So we just keep on plugging. I've got 2 in production right now that we have to do. And I think this arc is going to be 10 episodes, but the whole thing is, if you're out there in the Charlotte area and you'd like to come and help me build and work behind the scenes for Crossroads, I'd be more than happy. Frank-Parker at filkferret.com. And you can also find us at www.youtube.com. See Vance Amania. So thank you very much for putting that up there.
You're welcome. Did that on the fly just for you.
Yeah. And I do appreciate you guys, doing this today. And I'm very happy and very honored to be on your anniversary show.
Well, and with that all being said, yes, it is our anniversary. So if any of you out there don't know why we've been doing this for 1 year, go back. We've got a whole playlist right there on the very front of our page.
Good, bad, and the ugly. Trust me.
Good, bad, and the ugly. And actually, as of publishing of this video, as of publishing of this video, me and Zam will also be doing, out of all of the fan films we've done over the past year, because me and him have primarily been involved in all of them, me and Zam are going to be picking our top 10 and our bottom 5. So keep an eye out for that one. I'm pretty sure that Frank's will not be in the bottom 5.
Dodged a bullet.
Darn it.
You gotta work harder to get in that bottom 5, Frank. But yeah, so with that all being said, reaction, what is it? Council of Reactors. Thank you very much for joining me for this anniversary edition. It has been a pleasure for all of us to review these fan films of all kinds, not just Trek, but also Terminator, Spider-Man, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, you name it. We've done it. We can do other fan films. You put your requests in the comments below, and we will get them on the docket. With all that being said, thank you very much for joining us, and we are looking forward to a whole nother year. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta.
I can't do it that way.